I don't have any more. No more. No, my little rodent. This is the Nekteck 21-watt solar charger. I bought it last year for my last trip, but I used it periodically because I always seem to come across outlets somewhere. This trip, the Idaho Hot Springs mountain bike route, I'm going to be doing the single track sections as well, so I'll be in the middle of nowhere, and I'm going to have less chance of running across outlets, obviously. It's going to be a full sun day today. I'm going to plug in my iPhone 11 Pro into the 2.0 amperage output port, and we're going to see how long it takes to charge my iPhone from 20% to 100%. Okay. It's 5 o'clock, 102 degrees, and this is the outcome. I did it every hour. It started out strong, got a little stronger, and then it plummeted at 3 o'clock. In a different season, 3 o'clock would make sense that it would plummet. I don't know if it's because of how hot it is outside and if the solar panel can actually overheat. It is the next day, so I'm gonna see what it does from 340 to 440. Same sky, same temperature, and look what happened. I got 24% bringing out at 3:38 in the afternoon. And look what happened yesterday. So I can only attribute it to the fact that it must be overheating because we are in over 100-degree weather. Another nice thing to just know is how long your items will last. I'll use my Petzl as an example. I know that on a full charge, if I use this on high, it will last 2.5 hours. Use it on low, it'll last 10 hours. It takes 4.5 hours to bring it to a full charge. If I have this fully charged, and I keep it on low, when I go to camp every night, if I only keep it on low for 1 hour, it will last for 10 nights. I called Garmin to find out what their watch took, because this is a really important item. This is my tracking. Garmin said they'd never been asked that question before. So they're gonna get back to me. Battery packs, capacity, MAH, input, output. I'm just gonna give you a brief appetizer. I did go over this last season, maybe episode 8 at the end. Before I go buy a battery pack, I wanna know what equipment am I bringing? How much power do I actually need to carry with me? And again, this is based on what type of trip you're gonna take. If you're gonna go into the woods without any opportunity to plug in, you might want a much bigger battery pack that holds 24,000 mAh. It's gonna be bigger and heavier. Maybe you're not on a bicycle, you're on a motorcycle, so who cares, right? So I'm on a bicycle. I want lightweight, a good amount of power, and I want a certain amount of speed. Because when I get to that gas station or that cafe every 4 days or something, I want to be able to plug into their wall and not sit there for 5 hours. I'd rather sit there for 2.5. If I get something with a faster output, it'll charge my item faster. My phone, for instance, takes 6,000 mAh. So if my phone gets depleted, I'll only have 2,000 left over on this. So in a sense, this pocket juice could charge my headlamp and my phone to full charge, and I'll basically almost deplete this. In regards to input output, on these wall chargers, this is an awesome one, this Insignia. It's so lightweight, it has a nice feel to it. I love that these fold down because it's not gonna poke anything pushing it in a bag or whatever. Both ports are 2.4, and a lot of these items, when there's 2 ports, one will be 2.4, and then the other one jumps down to like 1. This is awesome because whether I have 1 or 2 items in, each port is giving 2.4 amps of power. This one is, I think, only 2.1. So this is 2, and this one's also 2. So that's good. But like, for instance, I saw one in the store and it had a 2.1A output, but the input is only 1. So it's going to take forever for this to receive power, charging this. And again, time is of the essence if I'm using a store or a cafe, or even my solar panel. Cords, I just learned recently, kind of play a role. So the thicker the cord, the faster, in a sense, the power is in the cord. There's like more wires in there. It kind of makes sense, right? So I had a thinner, smaller one. I'm actually bringing the thicker one because of what I was just told. You may want to get some long cords. They have a ton at TJ Maxx. If you're in a cafe or a gas station, you're using their outlet, having the length is good because it could be a really tight spot behind something. GPS mapping and tracking. So I bought the Garmin Forerunner 945, but I went into REI and they had them all on display, the different brands, and I was basing it on battery with GPS, not battery with GPS and music. Really loved the smooth face. When you put it on, it is so smooth on your wrist. It's incredible. You can barely feel it. You can look at a map. It does have color. I'm not going to be putting maps on it. I use my phone for that. Offline maps I download. You can put your music on it. I'm not going to put music on it because I rather just have the headphones resting around my neck and everything there to charge versus using my watch battery up for that. I didn't want to use this band. I don't want black. I want to be able to see it if I drop it or it falls off somewhere. But Garmin charges $50. I went on to Amazon and I found these. knockoffs. This is like $6, 13, there's 12. They all came with a little tool set. So they're all pretty light. They're not as light, but they're pretty damn close. The biggest difference is when you turn them over. This is the metal, this one does not. The metal has 2 screws in it. Well, first of all, why have a little bit more weight and why have 2 screws that can come out? That's actually more of the issue for me. I thought, well, I don't want something else that can come undone. Because this one has texture, you can see it loses that super smooth feeling on your wrist. So this was a no for me. And then this was a no immediately. It has the metal. They really copied Garmin really well on this. So see how there's nothing here? Sorry, I should have flipped this over already. See, there's no metal. Even the holes are like the long style versus this is more of a square. It has the lines black. How sexy does this color band look on this watch? Make sure you bring these, even if it got a little loose. The watch didn't come with any. It's so minuscule. If this actually got loose and fell out, you'd be screwed. You want to bring both of these because you need the pressure on one to push on the other side. Where are we? My favorite place in Boise, West Side Drive-In. I'm only going through to get this awesome ice cream thing they make. That's not why I'm making this video. And I just hung up with Garmin. Thank you for giving me a human being who answers the phone. I can't stand when these companies send you like articles you should read or other YouTube videos you should watch. Like I can just ask my own questions. Guy was so awesome in how he shared information. It was very user friendly. We just walked through all kinds of stuff. Extremely patient, not trying to rush me. Didn't make me feel like any of my questions are too stupid, but I have some bad news. You know the little runner dude on the front of the watch? Hence it's called Forerunner. You can't change him into a bicycle dude. Music. Sometimes music stirs memories or thoughts and I don't want to be reminiscing. So I end up just never having music. So this trip, I'm gonna download a bunch of songs. I don't want anything in my ears. I don't think I found any other headphones besides these. The little speaker outside, just enough. Awesome bendable cord. Won't knot my hair because some of them the way they're made. I love that there's a magnet to keep them together. That way my music is stored on here. My speaker is here right under my ear. Could also hang it around my handlebar. $9. This way I don't have to use my phone battery to talk to these. So I love that concept. So there's my micro SD cards in there. That's a converter. And then this is regular USB to USB-C. When I found out about the songs, they were M4As. The micro SD card won't read the M4A format. So I went to cloudconvert.com, converting my M4A to MP3. It's free. They let you do 10 a day. When you go into any route, like, oh, you know what? I want to go check Idaho Hot Springs mountain bike route. I don't want to read an article. I'm not interested in buying a map. I don't want to read about someone else's journey. I just want to see the actual recorded ride on their bike computer. The only company that comes up ever is Ride with GPS. If I put the word Gaia after that sentence, nope. You put the word Ride with GPS, a ton of people that have loaded have their ride, and that's how I found my Wild West route, a guy who rode from south to north. I downloaded his route, and then I was able to have it in offline maps on my cell phone. This trip, I went to Ride with GPS. I found a bunch of different people that downloaded their map. This was my favorite one. But what I did is I joined Gaia, just to give Gaia a chance because a lot of people love Gaia GPS. It's been extremely frustrating for me. Customer service has been a huge just hassle, just days. They don't answer the question. They want you to read articles. I believe a Ride with GPS was so efficient, they got right back. Their interface is so much easier to use. So far, based on interface, oh my gosh, Ride with GPS is amazing. What I've been doing, let's say I'm like, okay, wait, I'm at this turn, I need an escape route. Look I can zoom right on in, satellite, right? I mean, look at this, right? So this is what happens when you're in your house. I love being able to do this because I want to explore more on this trip. I'm going to take my time. I'm not going to Canada from Boise like last year. When you download offline, it doesn't do 100% because it takes up a lot of space. Gaia, it's available. And how you do it is extremely time consuming. In order to get 100% clarity, I had to make a square. I don't think you can angle them, so I can't drag the 10,000 tiles this way. I think I had to do them like this, so I could only get to like here. And then I had to do like to here. It took me hours. Obviously, you don't need to see 100% along a whole route. I was just doing it along spots that were hot springs, and I might be doing some hiking. Here, I'll give you an example. I'm just gonna click on D. And there's 4 Ds because I have 4 types of maps. I have satellite, topo. See that little green thing? That's the section of the map that I chose. All the blue are hot springs, and I'm still adding down this side. I'm adding the blue balloons because a lot of the hot springs aren't listed, or they have like little little tiny wavy water image. See that little wavy thing? What I'm also doing is I'm adding, so like a cup of coffee means there's a cafe, a star where there's a summit. So I know there's a climb. So setting up your map can be very, very time consuming. I just want to feel safe when I'm out there. If you don't need the 100% view, well then you could drag this whole section, download that, this whole section, you could do it really fast. Here's a cool feature with Ride with GPS. One thing that I don't believe Gaia has on their website, you can't get all this detail information. You have to go through the app. Ride with GPS does offer it through their website because obviously I like the bigger screen. So this is somebody else's ride that they recorded. They uploaded it to share. These are markings that they made. This is where they started with the green arrow and they went counterclockwise. So I'm gonna go over to like the climbs and that I want to know more about where they're located, like the bigger ones. Like where's this 1,600 foot climb? That's over here by the Galena Lodge. What's super cool, it made the climb blue. It zoomed in for us. Look at the great info that showed up. How long the climb was, how long it took that rider, like an hour and a half, and I'm taking a photograph with my phone. And this helps me because let's say I know, okay, this climb's coming up. I might want to stop riding before the climb. Or maybe I want to do the climb at night and get it out of the way so it's not so hot. I do know that I don't want to camp up on the climb because it's going to be colder up there because it's a higher elevation. You didn't think I was gonna show you what ice cream dessert I got, did you? It's called mud pie. Layered chocolate crumbled cookie in the bottom with chocolate ice cream, vanilla, that's swirled whipped cream on the top with crushed cookie and some peanuts. It is so delicious. It's super dense and heavy. This was $6. I wouldn't buy it so often, but it's $4.25. It's so reasonably priced and it's so delicious. How can you go wrong? You cannot.
Just some more nuts, please.